Hi, this is Karin from the Huntley Library, and today I'm going to show you how you can make starched ghosts as decorations. Alright, I have gathered some supplies for our ghosts here. First of all, you're going to need some cheesecloth. This is going to make up the body of your ghost. And we need some liquid starch. So I've got this Stay Flow liquid starch, which I've also poured into the spray bottle so that I can apply it more easily to the cheesecloth. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can just put some of the starch in a bowl and then soak your cheesecloth in that. And just make sure you wring out the excess and you should be able to use that just fine. If you don't have the liquid starch at home, you could mix up a batch of paper mache, which I think is like flour and water, and that will also allow you to use it with the cheesecloth and make sure that your ghost takes a shape and keeps it. You can also try glue if you don't have either of those things. Might take a little bit longer to dry, and it'll definitely be messier to work with. You won't be able to use a spray bottle with the glue. You would have to either soak your cheesecloth in it or paint it on with like a brush. So that's a possibility too. The method we're going to use is with the liquid starch though. You're also going to need something to protect your work surface. You could do this outside or in your garage where it might be easier to clean up. I've got a towel here which I'm going to use underneath the ghost that I'm making. If you have newspaper, that would work well too. Just make sure you protect your area, and if you are using a spray bottle, don't spray wildly. Spray close to the cheesecloth and just make sure it doesn't get everywhere. You're also going to need some kind of form to drape your cheesecloth over to make the body of your ghost. So I have a few things that I'm going to play around with. I've got a couple of plastic pots here that I use for gardening or for my plants. And I've got a pitcher that I might use. We'll see. And then I've also got some chopsticks so I can make some arms for my ghost. So you might need some tape or other things to put all of your pieces together to create a ghost form. So make sure you gather those things as well. And as soon as you got your supplies, you can continue. Okay, so I chose these things to be my form. I'm going to use the pitcher and this smaller plastic pot and then the chopsticks. And I'm just going to tape this together so that I don't have any catastrophic incidents where it falls apart while I'm trying to spray my ghost on it. So I'll just tape it in a few places here to get it to stick together. Okay, that looks like that. And then I have to decide how I would like the arms to be. Let's try that maybe. This part might be trickier to do. I do need these to be a little bit flexible so they stick out. So I kind of have to tape around them, but not exactly flush to the pitcher here. And then I want them to be able to, I think that's up at the angle I want. So we'll get a few more pieces of tape to secure that. You can use whatever you want for your mold, just make sure that it's something that you can clean off if you're planning on using it again. Or even for arms like this, you could probably just use some twigs that you found outside. And I really don't want these arms to move, so I'm using kind of a lot of tape to secure them. Hopefully they'll stay long enough for my ghost to take form. And then this one, I guess I'll have it at the same angle as the other one, if I can recreate that. I want to be careful though so that I don't mess up the one that I already did. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it here to guess where I put that other arm. I can move it around a little bit if I need to. And I don't think it's going to be perfect. If you're concerned about symmetry with your ghost here, then you could mark on the sides with maybe a piece of tape or something where each of the arms is going to go before you start taping them on, so that you have that placement delineated. I'll just let my ghost be a little wild. And let's do one more piece of tape around there. Okay, so that's what my fantastic taping job looks like on that side. That's the other side. And the effect is kind of wah. Okay, so there we have our ghost form. And then we're gonna break into my cheesecloth. I was not sure where to find cheesecloth in the store. And after a lot of searching, I thought maybe it would be by the canning supplies. I was walking around Walmart, but I didn't see it there. And then I walked over to like kitchen supplies, which is in another area of the store, and that's where I found it. So if you were searching for cheesecloth, you might also be able to find it at like a craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or someplace like that. Or you can just order it online and you won't have to search for it at all. Okay, so I'm going to unfold the cheesecloth. And you might not need to use, depending on the size of your ghost, you might not need to use all of the cheesecloth that you've purchased. Step it back for a minute. So there looks to be quite a bit of it here. So one other thing to add to your supplies list, scissors, if you're going to have to cut your cheesecloth. Okay, I'll put my ghost back down. Uh-oh, here's a problem. My cheesecloth is so loosely woven that the arms of my ghost are just, the pointy end is going right through the cheesecloth. So that's not desirable. So I'm going to have to put some tape on the ends of those so that we don't have that problem. This is a learn as you go kind of thing. That should do it. I'm adjusting this one a little bit since it was out a little bit more than I wanted it to be. Okay, we'll put a little cap on that one too. Okay. Let's try again. Better. Now I want this part of the cloth to drape down a little bit so that when it dries, oops, please do not stick to that. When it dries, the ghost's head and its arms will be more obvious. Because if I have it just going straight across, you might not be able to tell that ghost was the shape I was looking for. And if you want your ghost to be able to stand up, you'll want to leave some of this cheesecloth around the bottom so that it's got a nice foundation. So you can make sure that the draping is around the bottom too. Okay, and I'm going to get some scissors so that I can trim off this excess piece over here. Back with the scissors. So here is where I'm going to trim on the side, and I still want to make sure that I have enough leftover fabric here so that it touches down. So I'll try and be careful about that. Okay, looks good. And then just arrange your cheesecloth in a way that looks attractive to you and to your ghostly friend. Okay. So we've removed the camera from the tripod here so I can give you kind of a look of what my ghost looks like from the side instead of just from above. You can have a little preview of my studio too. This is my setup here in my kitchen. My tripod and my extra light. Now we're walking around our ghost to see it from the other side and make sure I like both sides of it. It's kind of a large lump right there. I think I like it. So once you've arranged everything to your liking, make sure that you get all of your extra supplies out of the way, because now it's time for things to get messy. I'm going to get out the spray bottle. Okay, I'm armed with my spray bottle. Here we go. And the spraying might actually cause some of your fabric to stick to your mold, so if you want that out a little bit more, you can readjust it after you've sprayed. I am trying to be careful not to spray my whole kitchen here. This might take a while to dry too. I'm going to do it from the other side. So you might need, consider this before you get started, you might need a spot that's going to remain undisturbed for a few hours. So if you are doing this on your kitchen table, make sure your meals are not going to have to take place there anytime soon. Okay. I'm not really sure how much we're gonna need. So I've pretty much just saturated the fabric here, and if you're not using a spray bottle, you could just soak the fabric and then drape it over the form that you're using. Everything looks pretty wet. So I'm just gonna wait for this to dry, and we'll come back after it is dry and see if I can get the fabric off of the form without destroying my ghost. And at that point, if it seems like this is not stiff enough, then I can respray it. Okay, our ghost has been drying for about 5 hours, so hopefully it is stiff enough to take off of here. The bottoms right here, it's still a little bit damp. So if that's the case with your ghost, you might want to leave it to dry a little bit longer. And it's not as stiff on the bottom as it is on the top here. Everything is kind of stuck to our mold. I'm going to try and take this off without destroying it. Good luck to me. Take our little arms out. Okay. It's stuck to the back here too. Oh my. So this is good that it's a very light fabric, or we might never get it off of there. Okay. I still have a little piece of tape here that's stuck. So there's my ghost, kind of standing up, kind of falling over. So it looks like once it's spread out a little bit, it stands up a little bit better. I am probably going to spray this one more time so that I get it a little bit more stiff. So I will do that, and then we'll try again. Back on the mold with you. Really, it's the bottom part that I am having the problem with. There's that. This is back on here. Okay, one more round of spraying. Making sure to get this part at the bottom this time. You can reshape the other parts of it too if you're spraying again like I am. Okay, and we'll leave that to dry probably overnight and come back and check on it again in the morning and see what we've got. Good luck, y'all. Welcome back, everybody. I have removed my ghost from its form. My form kind of looks like a a Dalek right now. The bottom was still a little bit wet, and it's, you can see, floppier than the rest of the ghost. So that part will still need to dry a little bit more, but the rest of the ghost is standing up a lot better than it was before. So spraying it once again was a good idea, I think. You can do that with your ghosts, or else get it really saturated the first time around and you might have better results than I did. So for your ghost, you can use this as a decoration inside, or if you have a protected place outside where it's not going to get wet, you could use it outside too. This is what the kind of the front of it looks like. You can decide which way you would like to orient your ghost too. I think maybe this will be the front because it doesn't have as many wrinkles across the face area. And if you want, you can decorate the face of your ghost. I think I'm going to use some marker and just put some little eyes on there before you hang it up. And you could just use like a little fishing twine or something to hang it. Or since if you've designed your ghost to stand like I have, you can just have your ghost standing on its little sheet feet. Okay, let's put on some eyes. Might be hard to do. Yep, I think I'm gonna get more of this marker on my fingers than I am on the ghost. And if this isn't working for you either, you could try paint, or you could glue some beads or something on his eyes if you want to. Mine are going to be super subtle, or maybe nail polish would work too if you don't have paint, but you do have black nail polish or some other color. You might also be able to use some kind of glow-in-the-dark paint to make your ghost glow at night if you're up for another step to this project. So you can see him a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call my ghost done as it dries a little bit more. Thank you for joining me for making Starched Ghosts. If you are looking for other fun activities to do, you can check out our website, www.huntleylibrary.org. We've recorded a bunch of different craft and activity videos and story times and fun stuff like that. Ooh. Have a great day.